handling, and specifically the standard deviation. Now, standard deviation is something that you work out, which is the deviation. It deviates, or it moves a little bit away from the general, from the mean. So if your mean is whatever, then one standard deviation, depending on how you worked it out, will either be a large or a small deviation, but within 3 of them, all the data should be. In actual fact, most of the time, within 2 standard deviations, you've already got all your data. In general, very general, nobody's going to quote me on this. In general, just for your mind's sake, if you take the average or the mean and you add 1 standard deviation and you subtract 1 standard deviation, you're going to get an interval. And within that interval should be approximately 2/3 of your data. If you add another standard deviation, in other words, from the mean, add 2 standard deviations and subtract 2, then you should just about get all of your data, 99%. And if you do that the 3rd time, take the average and add 1, 2, 3 times the standard deviation and subtract 1, 2, 3 times, that should definitely cover all your data. So it's all about the spread of your specific data, and that then 1 standard deviation will in general be approximately 2/3. It's not accurate, it's just an idea. So when you start working with it, you can work out your answers more accurately. Now let's have a look at the homework sums that you had. You had 3 sums to go and do, and here are the answers. If you took 3 and 8 and 11 and 13 and 20 on your calculator and you punched them in, and can you do this average without the calculator? Well, without the calculator, you're going to say that plus that plus that plus that, get an answer and divide it by 5, and you could do it without the calculator as well with me, right? But if you go for the calculator and you punch in your data under data handling, and you go and punch in your variables, and you go to shift stat variables, and then you'll find the X with a little stripe on it, which means the mean. It gives you 11. Alright? Confirm it that it is the correct one. And then you just have to punch another key to get you the standard deviation. Please note again that standard deviation is a little circle just with a little thingamajiggy there, half a shrek. Okay? Which means it's how much deviation there is from of your mean or your average. Now, if the question I want to add to that, because now those 2 was easy peasy, 4 marks for just punching your calculator. If I now go and ask you a relative question, and I ask you, how many of the data lies outside of 2 standard deviations, then your idea should kind of like be most probably nothing, or maybe just 1, because of what Rand already taught you. But all that you do then for the marks is you've got to know that that's going to be an interval of what? Take the mean and minus, but now it's 2 standard deviations. So not just 1 standard deviations, but 2 standard deviations. And then the same with adding it. So you're going to get a broader spectrum. And within that, I now know I've got a gut feeling because of what Graham just showed me. It should kind of like be all of them, or maybe there's one outside of it. So let's have a look. So you substitute your 11 minus 2 times the 5,62, and then again the 11 for the mean plus 2 times the 5,62. And that gives you an interval of how much? Please help me. This was, I think, negative something. 11 minus 2 times 5,62, and then 11 plus 2 times 5,62. Negative 0,24. Because we always round up to 2 decimals, and
second one is 22,24.
Okay, so what does that tell me? Which of the data, no, not which of the data. Yesterday I asked which of the data. Now I'm asking how many of the data, I don't know. How many of the data lies outside? Outside of 0, negative 0, well, there's nothing. And above 22, there's nothing. So how many of the data lies outside? None lie outside. Or just your answer, none Not one, nothing. Are you with me? Answer the question. Next question, same thing. We have our data piece there. We punch into our calculator the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Could I have asked you for the median? Yep. Then of the 7, it would have been the fourth one. Could I have asked you for the quartiles? All the stuff still there. Now I'm asking you just to find the mean and the standard deviation, which I get with my calculator. Punch it into the calculator, get your 2 answers, 4 marks, that's it. But now the other question that I could ask and will get asked most of the time, if not, then that's it, then that's where you finish. Which data, listen carefully, which of the data lies within one standard deviation? Which of these data lies within? Gut feeling should be, it should kind of like be almost all of those in the middle, 2/3-ish, looks like to me. But you can't just estimate, you've got to work it out. So your calculation should be the average minus it's 1 standard deviation this time, and then add with 1 standard deviation to give me the interval for 1 standard deviation. So that's going to be 36,721, sorry, minus 9,19. Give me an answer, please. There again. 26,81 and 20.
27.
Please clearly give me your answer. 27.81, is that right?
5.2. 27,52.
Answer please.
45,9.
90.
0.
Alright, remember if we round off 2 decimals, let's be finicky about it. What was the question? Which of the data lies within? So 27,52, and remember this is in order now, so I can see where 27,52 is somewhere there. Up to 45, something is somewhere over there. So which of the data is inside? It's all of those. Do you agree? So what was our answer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. No, answer's wrong. I didn't ask how many were inside. I said which of them are inside. So the data inside is 28, 32, 35, 38, 43. So we're more testing whether you're correctly reading what your question is. It's the correct answer that there's 5 of them inside. Does it make my statement kind of like true? That it's 5 out of 7 that is inside of that range. What is 5 out of 7, please, on a calculator? Decimal. 71. So it's 71%. Is that approximately right, what I taught you? Most of the time it's like 2/3-ish, right? 5 of them, 5 out of the 7 was inside. So that means how many were outside? Silly question. It was the 26 and the 55, or how many? There was 2. Are you with me? Just answer the question correctly. This is such easy peasy work. Alright, let's have a look at the next one. Which of the data lies outside 1 standard deviation? And most of the time the question asked is about 1 standard deviation. Unless I do ask you about 2 standard deviations, then please don't make the mistake. So you've got a minus 2 standard deviations and plus 2. This time again we're going to have minus 1 standard deviation and plus 1 standard deviation for the interval. And it's going to be 59 was the answer, sorry. And 10,56, did you check that on your calculator? It's got to be exact. 59 minus the 10,56 and 59 plus the 10,56. And that answer is, please? 48.44. Thank you. And then 69,56. And which of the, what was the question? Which of the data? So I want to know the data by name. So 48, something is there. And 69, something is there. So which of the data is outside? 44, 46, 71, 70. Answer the correct question. How many are outside? 4. But which of the data is my answer? 44, 46, 71, 73, easy peasy. Right. Let's just finish up on the data handling. Now I have given you what diagram is this?
Stem and leaf.
Stem and leaf. Now stem and leaf, but this is a back-to-back stem and leaf, which you're going to be able to read. So it's talking about Samuel and Thomas and their 10 last math marks. Alright? Poor Thomas achieved what? 11%, Shane. And this one was? 22%. So if you have to take, and I hope this was the first one, and the last one was 95, and not the other way around. Are you with me? Somewhere you fell off the wagon. But Thomas is all over the show. He's not a consistent achiever. Sometimes he falls off the wagon, doesn't come to school for 3 weeks, etc. Alright, so if you had to go and order Thomas, it was 11, then 22, then 46, there's no 30, and then 47, and then 50, etc. Are you with me? So if I ask you for Thomas's median, where's the median of, I already said that there were 10 marks, and if you didn't know that, you count them. So where's the middle of 10? 5 and 6. Remember, if it's an even amount, then you take 5 and 6 together. So where's the 5th mark? 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, are you with me here? In order, it's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Are you with me? So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what is the average of the, the median? Would be 50 plus 52, which is 51. That would be your median. Are you with me? And on the other side, with Samuel, what is his middle one? 1. Where do I count now? That's the second one. 3rd, 4th. Because do you see how the back-to-back works? The smaller ones are in the middle. So it goes 44, 50, 50, 54, 55, 60, 60, 61, 65, 66. So where is the 5th one? So when we count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now the 5th one was 55 and 60. Are you with me? And that would give me 57, 5 as my median. Are you with me here? Very important. So if ever you had to go do a stem and leaf, very importantly, you go from the center and you order them so that if you have to count for something like the median or the middle ones, that you can count correctly. What would be the mode in Samuel's case? 50 and 60. There's 2 of them. That's there more than once. 50 and 60. Wake up. And for Thomas? Mode? There's none. There's none. There's nothing that is repeating itself. Then, according to what we've just done, you can also now work out the mean and the standard deviation. Are you with me? Now, before I do that, there's a purpose behind this, except for the fact that we needed to revise the stem and leaf. How large do you think this standard deviation will be? If Samuel has between 44 and 66%, it's not so widely spread. Are you with me? So how much should the data be spread from the mean? Should the standard deviation be large, or will it be smallish? What's going to happen to Thomas? He's going to have a large standard deviation. Doesn't make sense what you're busy with. I don't know what the answer is, but it's going to be large. Let's check ourselves. So now with calculators, you're going to punch in 44, 50, 50, 54, 55, 60, 60, 61, 65, 66. And once you got that, you just have to press 2 buttons to find the mean and to find the standard deviation. Are you all with me, guys? All right. So for our mean, who's going to be fast?
For Thomas,
Yes.
55. Thomas, it's 55.
56.
55.
For Thomas.
Oh, for Thomas, 55? Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, and then the mean of the standard deviation, which should be large.
25,
Comma? Comma?
25.
25, thank you for audible voices. Then let's go to Samuel. For Samuel, what would be the average and what would be the... So can you see what I meant? His average mark for all 10 his marks was 55%. But the standard deviation is quite large, meaning there's a wide spread. It's a lot of variation in his marks. Standard deviation variates a lot. Are you with me? Okay, does somebody have an answer for me for Samuel's average or mean? Okay, so the two of them don't have a large difference in their average. Are you with me? Not a large difference in their average. But this tells me he had a lot of variation in his marks. Well, this one's standard deviation was?
6,76.
Meaning? Not a lot of variation on his marks. Does it make sense, guys? Could I now ask you, how many of his marks was within one standard deviation? And then what would you do? That one minus that one and that one plus that one, giving me an interval, and you could actually go and see which ones were inside and outside of one standard deviation. Various ways of asking it. Are you with me? And by that, we are finished with Daugh to him.